What's up everybody, this is Scott with 512 Garage and I'm back with another video. Today we have a C6 convertible in the garage and we're going to be doing a differential fluid change. Now, I typically wouldn't do a video on a diff fluid change just because there's so many other great resources and videos out there to show you how to do this job, but there's something special about this particular C6 that makes the job a little bit more difficult. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this one. All right, you guys, before we get started, I want to thank today's sponsor, me. That's right, 512 Garage. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know it, I have a website, 512garage.com, where I sell aftermarket Corvette parts and accessories, C5 up through C8. And we're just loading some C8 product on the site now, so go check it out when you get a chance. We also have hats like this one here and shirts up on the site too. So even if you don't own a Corvette, you can still support the brand by getting yourself a shirt or hat. All right, so changing out the diff fluid in these cars is not very difficult, but it is stinky. And you guys who have done this before, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we're gonna be using the AC Delco Dexron LS gear oil here, and I'll put a link down in the description if you want to pick up some for yourself. It is part number 10-4043, and I typically like to have about 3 quarts on hand when I'm doing this job. Usually the diff will take about 2 quarts, maybe a little bit more, but make sure you have 3 quarts on hand to do this job. Obviously you're gonna need a drain pan, some gloves, maybe some paper towels too, and this handy pump here so that you can actually pump the gear oil from the bottle into the rear differential. And most of the time, all you need is a 10mm Allen wrench and a ratchet to break open the fill plug as well as the drain plug. But like I said, there's something particularly challenging with this Corvette here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute as soon as we get this car up on the Max Jacks lift. Stay with me. All right, so we are underneath Drew's car. It's up on the Max Jacks lift. Here is the differential, and this is what makes this job challenging on the 2005 C6s. The location of the drain plug is just above the leaf spring, so you can't fit an Allen wrench in there, and you certainly can't fit a socket in there, let alone a ratchet to loosen that drain plug. So what we're going to do is modify this Allen wrench so we can tuck it up underneath here and hopefully get to that drain plug. All right, so I have the cutoff wheel, I have the 10mm Allen wrench here in the vise, and we're going to cut off about 3 centimeters. And when we're finished, I'll show you exactly why. Safety first. All right, so as you can imagine, that's going to be really hot, and so is the piece we cut off. So we'll let that cool down for a second. All right, so there is that pesky drain plug, and here is the 3 centimeter piece of 10mm Allen wrench that we just cut off, and you can see that it fits now up into the drain plug. See that, guys? And then what we can do is we can take a 10mm wrench, and now we can break that drain plug loose. But before we do that, we need to make sure we can get the fill plug open, which is what we'll do next. All right, you guys, so here is the fill plug. It's up on the right side of the differential, and you can see I have a 10mm Allen socket, and we're gonna make sure we can break this loose and remove it before we actually remove the drain plug because, well, we don't want to drain out all the rear differential fluid only to find out that this plug could be seized. Nothing is easy on Drew's car. Some gorilla put this in last. All right, guys, so this is exactly why we do this step first. You can see this drain plug was on awfully tight. And you can imagine if we would have drained out all the differential fluid and we're not able to get this plug out, we would have been in a little bit of trouble. But we got it loose. I'm not gonna pull it out all the way until we get the differential fluid drained, which is what we're gonna do next. All right, you guys, you can see the drain plug is now loose and it worked. So now all we have to do is get this wrench out of here and we can go ahead and loosen the drain plug all the way and get this differential fluid flowing all over. Now, before we get the drain plug too loose, I want to make sure I can remove this tool. Otherwise, it'll prevent the drain plug from truly being removed. And you might be able to hear some air now leaking out. And pretty soon, you're going to see some gear oil coming out of here. And there's no real good way to do this. And unfortunately, it will get on the leaf spring. Oh, there it is. And we will let that drain. And again, if you've ever done this before, you know it's not the most pleasant smelling liquid. Whoa, look at that, you guys. Put that on your pancakes. All right, we're gonna let that continue to drain just like this. And then we're gonna go ahead and loosen up the fill plug up top here so that we can get some more air in and see if we can get some more fluid out. All right, you guys, drain plug is back in. Next step is to fill the differential. And all you need to do is attach the pump to a fresh bottle of gear fluid, insert the tube, and begin to pump. And it'll take a few pumps before it starts siphoning up the fresh, new 75W90. And there you go, guys. We just continue to pump and pump and pump again until we see the gear fluid, the diff fluid, start to come out of the fill hole. Now, the important thing to note here is you want the car to be level. So don't just jack up the back of the car to do this in your driveway. You need to make sure the car is entirely level so that the diff fluid fills up in a level fashion inside of the differential. So I'm gonna keep on pumping here and I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, you guys, there's not much to see. I just got to the end of the second bottle and there was a steady flow of fluid coming out of the fill hole, and that was my sign to put the plug back in. And now all we're gonna do is just tighten the fill plug back up, wipe everything down, and we'll wrap this video up. All right, you guys, we are done with Drew's car. We're gonna get it off of the lift, take it for a test drive, head to a parking lot, do some figure eights so we can work that new gear oil all inside of the differential. You know, if you have any questions about what you saw in this video or any of my other videos, you can always email me, scott@team512.com. Smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode. There are tons of great videos on YouTube for Corvettes and other cars, so any time you spend on my channel is greatly appreciated. And as always, leave me some comments because you guys know I love interacting with people who love cars and Corvettes just as much as I do. Till next time, see ya.